Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no. Look at the top of his head. Look at his lips.
All right, what is good, everybody? Quancredible here for the review of Black Clover Chapter 294. Real quick before I get into the review, because I know a lot of you are probably really confused as to why I'm doing it today instead of on the official day, which is Sunday, which is because I'm actually going out of town for Memorial Day, so I will not be here on Sunday, so I'm gonna just do the review today. So, yeah. But yeah, this chapter is actually low-key kind of crazy once you really get into it. I mean, in the beginning, we do have the wrap-up, like final wrap-up of Magna versus Dante, with Magna falling onto Zora's shoulder in a very similar fashion to how Asta fell on Yami's shoulder when they had beaten Dante. It was just like I don't know if Tabata meant for that to be a parallel or if it was just purely coincidental, but it was still kind of dope just to see in general. And then how Asta was just like just amazed that Magna was even able to just like beat someone that like him and Yami together barely even beat. So it's just kind of crazy. And then also just to kind of see like Luck and Magna's rivalry is essentially restored because like after the whole Magna had to walk out when he was down bad because he was too weak, I felt like their relationship might have been shaky despite them not really having hung out or seen each other in 6 months. But I feel like now it's back reestablished, reaffirmed that they could give each other a run for their money. But moving on to like the first really interesting thing about this chapter is kind of like Jack just review kind of going over what even just happened, like because Jack he had a front row seat to see Magna just Magna and Dante's heavyweight title match. And basically Jack is saying he understands that like he's a commoner and he lets commoners on like his squad, and commoners can do crazy things, but it almost seems like he kind of drew the line at like peasants or extremely low commoners. So like he always thought it was kind of weird that Yami even would allow them to be on his squad. But this kind of grin when Jack is talking about all this, kind of saying something along the lines of like he got to see something interesting, makes me kind of think like, dang, is Jack going to kind of get more into runes or get more into like the really small arrays that like Magna was able to do? Because Jack is already plenty powerful. Like Jack is already plenty powerful, and he does like the bare minimum. He like just his magic type is just really good. Like just how he uses his magic is really good. So if this could potentially be a slight foreshadow that there is a higher ceiling for Jack, I mean, it's especially something like past this arc. So I doubt Jack's going to get any kind of like a secondary power up in this arc, but maybe in the future arc, Jack could possibly implement some of the stuff that Magna or Zora do into his own magic. It would be kind of be cool to see, since he is not one of those captains that has just this crazy amount of mana. It's more so his magic type. We also get a flash to Morris, and Morris is completely on demon time at this moment. He doesn't even really care that Dante has been beaten. He's just curious on like what magic was even used to beat Dante, not even the fact that like Dante is beaten. And it's kind of weird because I initially thought that if one of the triad members was beaten, that the tree would slow down considerably. But apparently, it turns out that they're really not necessarily needed all like that, seeing as Morris has more or less found a way to bypass them entirely and just keep the tree speeding along regardless. Now, I'm not for sure if all the demons coming out is necessarily a second gate opening. I mean, at this point, I do kind of feel like a second gate will open, but it almost feels like the story might be trending to where it might stop at a second gate open. Who knows? I mean, it could go farther, it could not, but we'll just have to see on that one. But after that, we get arguably what could be like the most pathetic or saddest or anticlimactic or tragic or whatever weird word you want to use moment of this chapter, and it's with Dante using his body magic, and he's back up and he looks absolutely disgusting. Like now I kind of see what he was really getting at when he was saying like his body magic is gross and it's unsightly and all these other things, and it just really shows how just down bad Dante really is, in a sense like he just refuses to even acknowledge the fact that he lost to someone that should in theory be so far beneath him, and honestly, it's all his own fault just because of how Dante actually just is. He just allows these kind of things to happen to him. And we had like a really cool moment for Jack, Jack going back and confronting Dante, and it almost seems like Jack actually just finished him off like off screen. Now I know this is gonna be a big like debate for back and forth if Dante may come back, just because like when characters die like off screen, like we don't know what actually happened to him. I mean, me personally, I hope he was just beaten off screen so we just don't have to deal with him anymore. Because I feel like Dante has kind of like ran his course. Like Dante's character has definitely ran his course. Like we know enough of his backstory to know he was just bored with life and that kind of thing. We got to see him up. We got to see him down. We got to see basically the full extent of what he can do with his magic. So it's just kind of like we kind of seen all we need to see from Dante. I mean, honestly, they could just close the book on him and just be done with it. So I mean, I can definitely understand that some people do want him to come back, and if he comes back, I'm not gonna be like super mad or be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. How did he come? I mean, he has body magic, so it's understandable. So I'm not gonna be super shocked if he comes back. But I myself just want this to be done, and I think it'd be a good moment for Jack just to finish off Dante, and just be done with it. And it's actually really crazy because at the same time, it flashes back over to Vanica. It's actually Charlotte and Real versus Vanica and Laura Petchka. Laura Petchka being controlled by Vanica. She's basically being a puppet, kind of like how the Diamond Generals were. Now, for me, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of us are assuming that Laura Petchka is still alive, but those Diamond Generals were dead when they were puppets. So it kind of makes me think that what if Laura Petchka could be dead and she's a puppet? Like, what if they're already too late? So that could be very interesting. I mean, I'm assuming since Black Clover isn't that dark, so I'm assuming she's probably still alive. But then there's the ever present of what if Vanica wants to turn her into a curse bomb? That's still a thing too. Which Black Clover, that would be a crazy twist if like at the end of this Lord Petchka's like a curse bomb. That would be so sad. Like that would just be like that'd be so sad. Like Vanica would definitely be like way more goated than Dante if she does that. But essentially there's still a fight going on between these two groups, and it's Real's doing stuff. Real is doing stuff, which is good. I'm assuming the fight is mostly Vanica versus Charlotte, and Real attempting to hold off Laura Petchka. I'm not gonna dock Real points for not being able to hold off Laura Petchka in this puppet form, because I mean she's the like heart queen, and I'm assuming this whole possession thing is making her even stronger. So like granted, she doesn't have Undying, so you can kind of argue on where her strength would be. But at the same time, she's still crazy strong on her own, even without Undying. So I'm not gonna take points away from Real for not being able to stop Laura Petchka. I'm not one of those kind of people that just want to bash him for the sake of bashing him. But right when their fight is going like extremely south, and like Charlotte is getting the freaking Partry treatment when she just gets like impaled by all like the little like blood spikes or whatever. This is when Gaja and Noelle step in to fight against Vanica and Laura Petchka, and then the chapter ends, which is really crazy. Like this chapter took a crazy twist, and I'm really excited to see where it goes next week. Honestly, I'm not for sure how this is gonna go for the Gaja and Laura Petchka thing, because Laura Petchka, in my mind, should be much stronger than Gaja is, so he really shouldn't be able to do much to her in a fight. I mean, granted, he does have ultimate magic, but like I guess it really would probably just depend on what techniques Laura Petchka is able to use in this form, and if she's able to use like what scope of her abilities is she able to do, even though we don't really know a bunch of them all like that. And then for Noelle and Vanica, I'm pretty sure like everyone else, I mean I made this video way back in my like the potential for Noelle is I definitely think that she's gonna have a new version of her Valkyrie dress. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link on it up there so you can see it. But yeah, I really do want her Ultimate Magic to just be another variation of the Valkyrie dress. I feel like that'd be really dope to see. I mean, it could be a big spell, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough to take out Vanica. Honestly, in my mind, I don't really see Gaja beating Laura Petchka. I kind of see that like beating Vanica will be the key to stopping Laura Petchka. That's kind of how I see this. That's kind of how I see this going. As for Undyne, I don't know where Undyne is. I think she could appear because Undyne got cursed too, or Undyne could just be chilling at the Heart Kingdom still. I mean, I definitely don't want Undyne to be a part of Noelle. That's just like 100% not what I want. But we're just gonna have to wait and see exactly what's going on. So all in all, this chapter was actually way more hype. Like I was saying, when you actually get into it, so I give it like an 8.5 highest. I mean, I thought it was really good, but I mean, this is spoilers. So it could change depending on what more official wording is and what actual information we do get. But as of right now, how I feel about it, I'm feeling 8.5. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Let me know down below how you guys are feeling about this chapter. If you liked it, disliked it. I will say one of the only things that kind of bothered me a little bit is that I did kind of want to go to and Xenon, but I can kind of understand if they're saving that to be the whole big thing. But at the same time, I'm just really impatient. I just really want to see and Xenon. But I guess we're gonna have to get through this first. So yeah, like I said, let me know how you guys feel about it down below. Make sure you guys like the video as well as subscribe to the channel for more Black Clover content. Again, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm leaving for the weekend, so that's the only reason why I'm doing a spoiler chapter review in the first place. But hey, if you guys like it, I might do more. Who knows? It's up in the air. But yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy you guys this Memorial Day, because I will not see you guys until after then. But yeah, other than that, you guys have a good one.